everyone. I am Rana Ravi from MSME and Startup Committee, ICI. I would like to welcome our speaker, sir, CA Lokesh Rajendra Babu, sir, and our coordinator, ma'am, Numit Verma, ma'am. So today we have a 45th Pathshala series, and our topic will be incentive and government scheme of MSMEs in service sector. Ma'am, over to you.
Very good afternoon, everyone, and a heartfelt welcome to CA Lokesh ji. CA Lokesh is I just want to give a small intro of CA Lokesh. He's a chartered accountant with decade of experience in handling compliances of SMEs and corporates alike. He has coached and mentored thousands of students and CA aspirants during his stint as an instructor and continues to inspire young minds. He has imparted his knowledge to prestigious B schools like MIT University, Lovely Professional University, St. John's College of Commerce, and more. Also, imparting financial management insights to corporates like Standard Chartered Bank and Johnson Controls India. Believing in the idea that a businessman armed with the understanding of numbers has a significant advantage over his competitors, CA Lokesh went on a mission to maximize profits of businesses and continues that journey. He has served as the National Treasurer at the Professional Speakers Association of India and was a member of the Standards on Auditing Committee of the SIRC of Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. A regular contributor to the monthly bulletin of CA Study Circle. As a profit maximizer, he helps businesses pull simple levers of finance like cost and tax and maximize their profit. Sir, over to you, Mr. Lokesh.
Thank you, CA Numit and Rana Ravi for coordinating this. I also would like to extend my warm regards to the MSME and Startup Committee of ICI. I see that this is the 45th MSME Pathshala series. I understand that these kind of events help MSMEs grow, startups grow. They help the small and medium sectors grow. I believe we are taking the right step. Going forward, also, I think the committee is having several plans to conduct so many other events. And thank you, ICA, for this opportunity as well. So with that, I would like to go into the presentation. I have a PPT. I would start sharing the PPT. Could you please give me the sharing access?
Sure. Tech support team, could you please make him co-host?
Yeah.
Sir, now you can share your screen.
Now I will try. I hope the screen is visible.
Yeah, sir, it's visible.
I can see that. So let's go on. You see, when the committee came up with this idea, so I went ahead and did some homework, because for me also this was new. MSMEs having some schemes, some incentives. So I had to understand what are the schemes and incentives, and I've made some analysis and all. So whatever I have analyzed is what I'm going to present today. So to give you a broad overview of how many schemes are there are around 3,000 schemes by the government, and 520 of them only is from central government, and around 2,400 of them are from several state governments. So now you might ask me this question. You have 3,000 schemes to be covered? No, we are not going to cover 3,000 schemes. We are going to cover schemes only those that are relevant to the service sector, and mostly startup technology like that. So why service sector? Because service sector, it is being said that service sector is the next big sector that is going to grow into several trillions. Earlier, if you could see that, earlier it was the manufacturing sector which was poised as a big uh, the industry to look forward to. But with data science, artificial intelligence, and several sectors coming up, the next big thing is the service industry. And we chartered accountants are also part of the service industry. So it's high time that we understood what are these service schemes that the government is having. So I have heard that whenever there is a ignorance, you cannot utilize that knowledge, you cannot utilize your insights, everything. But if you have some knowledge, you have some idea about a scheme, that is when you can go ahead and use that particular scheme. So there are several schemes which we can go on and discuss, but I have selected few schemes which are common and applicable to everybody. So we have also classified the schemes. So all schemes are there. Out of that, service sector related schemes are there. And then central government schemes are there, state government schemes are there, and there are also sector specific schemes. And lastly, which is what is most important, the schemes applicable to my service business. You might be from any service. I understand other than chartered accountants are also probably watching this. So if you are from any other industry also, uh, you are a service professional. Now you need to understand what are the schemes that are applicable for you. So to understand that, you need to see the larger picture. There are several ministries involved in framing a scheme. So the government normally looks into the schemes, uh, and they understand a specific sector is not doing well. And for that specific sector, they will probably give some implements in the form of schemes. So if you see, service sector and manufacturing sector, they have got equally some schemes, but the schemes for service sector is not quite well known. Manufacturing sector, it is commonly known. So in order to go under any of these schemes, the first basic requirement will be to have your own Udyam Aadhar. Udyam Aadhar is the base document with which you can have the benefit of all these schemes. So first thing, you need to go and apply for Udyam Aadhar. I am not covering how to apply for Udyam Aadhar and all. Udyam Aadhar is a fairly simple process. Online, you can go apply, and within the next 10 minutes, you can download the Udyam Aadhar certificate. And if you have the Udyam Aadhar certificate, that's when you start becoming eligible for these schemes. Till then, whatever is your financial position, whatever is your technical knowledge, the government believes only in numbers, particularly Aadhaar number. So in your case, your business should have an existence. Your own personal existence is proven by a personal Aadhaar, a PAN, everything. But for your business, you need to have Udyam Aadhaar. So once you have Udyam Aadhaar, that is when we enter into these schemes. Now, Lokesh, you said 3,000 schemes. I don't know whether I will be eligible for all schemes. How will I know which scheme is eligible for me, my business? That's when you have to go to this website called myscheme.gov.in. So maybe I will also share it in the chat. It's called myscheme.gov.in. So I want you to take some time, go to this specific website, and probably you can see that this particular website has a list of several schemes. Now, once again, you are put into a quagmire of schemes, lots of schemes, lots of schemes. Which scheme should I apply? Which I am eligible for? So for that, the government also understood that there is this issue of what is the eligibility criteria. So government has come up with one form where you simply go and select what is your name, age, everything, and then whether you belong to uh, uh, BPL, you are SC, ST, you are disabled, all that, whatever is that you mentioned. And then which area, urban area or rural area. And mostly, if you are farming part of rural area, you will be having several schemes. Today, I'm not discussing any schemes in relation to rural area. This is mostly restricted to urban area service sector schemes. So if you go ahead and register, in fact, no need to register also, you simply have to give login. So if you go ahead and give your Aadhaar number, you will be taken to your DigiLocker portal, where you will have to simply give an OTP. It's a simple process. It won't take much of your time. And once that OTP is shared, you will be able to give your Aadhaar details to this My Scheme portal. And My Scheme portal, they will see that you are a Udyam Aadhaar registered business. The moment they understand you are a Udyamada registered business and you belong to this state, and this is your age, this is your gender, this is your SC, ST, OBC, whatever is the category, then they will come up with schemes. So they will list the number of schemes. For me, when I went ahead and gave my details, we have found 62 schemes based on the preferences you give. And you can see, you can also classify which ministry, which level, what is the benefit type, whether cash kind, what is the scheme type, application mode, online, offline. So like that you can classify the entire list itself. And once you have classified, the process is quite simple. You have to check the eligibility, you have to apply online, and then you have to get the digital approval, and then you keep checking the application for a real time status of your approval and further dispersal, everything. For all these, there is facilitation available. For me, I am from state called Tamil Nadu. So there is a particular body called FAME-TN. FAME-TN is the body which is facilitating this, which is in Gindi. So for your state, which is the body, means you simply have to go and approach your district industry center, which is the nodal agency, the agency that is marked for distribution of scheme related ideas, scheme applications, dispersal, everything. It will be mostly DIC, MSME department, DIC. And the district industry center will be mostly available in several districts. Um, Based on the area, you will have to go and identify that particular district industry center, and there will be somebody who will be able to guide you. There will be a commissioner, and below him there is a team. And once you are basically approaching this DIC, you will have access to several schemes, and there are also hand holding schemes applicable for you. We will discuss that one by one in the next few slides. So I would like to go ahead and discuss some of the schemes which are generally applicable. Sector specific also I am doing here with respect to startups and technology, but not all industries are being covered here. So I am discussing a certain subset of schemes that are applicable for everybody in the field. So if you go to this website, this is how it comes up. So it shows my benefits, eligibility, what is the document required, what are the facts, and source reference. Everything is applicable. So you can understand just by going through this particular website. Every scheme you have detailed, benefits, detail related, everything available in the portal itself. And one by one, we can go with the scheme discussion. The first scheme, probably you are also aware, and if you're not aware, you can basically take use of this, get use of this Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana, PMMY scheme. PMMY scheme is a scheme where you are given unsecured loan without any security, up to 10 lakhs. Several industries there, service sector, manufacturing, trading. There is no, uh, you know, separate requirement that you should be only in service sector. All sectors are allowed to have this PMMY loan, and mostly small scale businesses are covered in this PMMY loan. So the types of PMMY loans are Shishu, Kishore, Tarun. So depending upon the loan amount, you will be covered under Shishu Kishore or Tarun, 50,000 to 10 lakhs without any collateral. And any individual proprietary partnership firm will be eligible to apply for this. The base requirement, as I have already said, is Udyam Aadhar. Without Udyam Aadhar, you cannot go into any of these schemes. So if you have not applied for Udyam Aadhar, go ahead and get the Udyam Aadhar first. Next is the Prime Minister's Employment Generation Program. So PMEGP program. This is a subsidy program. The previous one was loan, and this one is a subsidy program. Once again, this is a central program applicable to everybody. And there are two kinds of PMEGP subsidy available. One will be for the uh, new entity, another will be for the existing entity for upgradation. So if you are in a new entity, first you should see whether you are a manufacturing sector or you are a service sector. So manufacturing sector, you get up to 10 lakhs. Project cost will be subsidized, and service sector up to 5 lakhs will be subsidized. So you should be also eligible for um, Mudra Mudra scheme loan, which you can separately apply and get. So there is no interchange, like you are there, you cannot get this like that. You can do that. And this is the beneficiary contribution. 10 percentage of rate of subsidy is the owner's contribution. 15% for urban areas, 25% for rural areas. So which means for rural area, it is 35%. So beneficiary contribution is 5%. And there are certain categories also, special category. For special category, contribution is lesser than 10%, which is 5%. So maximum cost of project allowed is 50 lakhs. Maximum cost of project which is service sector is 20 lakhs. So for manufacturing 50 lakhs, out of that 15% is a subsidy. Out of that 10% should be contributed. And if you are a special category, women category, SC, ST, OBC category, transgender, differently able category, then out of that 15% or 25%, you will be able to have another 5% reduction from your side, which the government will contribute. So there are certain restrictions which you can go through the provisions in the website and see. And this is for upgradation as well. So upgradation, you have to contribute 10% and rate of subsidy is 15%. And in case of northeast region and hilly states and all, the rate of subsidy will be 20% of the project cost. So the percentage is basically on the cost of the project. So you have to prepare a project report. You must uh, probably, if you are not a chartered accountant, you are watching this, you must take the help of a chartered accountant so that you can get one project report which is normally accepted by the bankers, and you can be able to apply this PMEGP subsidy and Prime Minister's Mudra Yojana effortlessly. And there is this scheme called Stand Up India scheme. So Stand Up India scheme is to help SC, ST women entrepreneurs. So SC, ST women entrepreneurs, they are eligible under this scheme. What is the amount of bank loan they can get? From 10 lakhs to 1 crore, up to 1 crore they can get. So you have to start a new entity and you should get uh, the loan. And the point is, this loan could be term loan or working capital. It is a combo loan also. It's not an issue. And security for this loan will be covered under CGT MSC scheme, which is the government scheme for credit guarantee. And contribution will be, in this case, only 15%. The owner will have to contribute 15%. Balance 85% will be given as loan by the government. And all of that under subsidized interest rate as well. So you have to basically have the CGTMSC scheme, where the CGTMSC scheme also guarantees the loan. I have been hearing that the CGTMSC scheme is not very well accepted by bankers, and sometimes the bankers ask for additional collateral. Uh, the banks normally ask for additional collateral in certain cases where they feel there is a risk involved. But otherwise, you have to go and try CGTMSE based loans. And if you are eligible, why not? Right. So the guarantee is like up to 2 crore the government is giving, and micro means 85% up to 5 lakhs, and for others it is 75%. Uh, and the guarantee can be maximum 100 lakhs, like I already discussed. So you can get the benefit by only applying. So you can apply and see. In case you default, the CGTMSC, uh, uh, the insurance is that you basically get the loan paid by government. So the lending institutions do not have any risk. That is the CGTMSC scheme. But there are some practical difficulties that exist, which I also agree. Another thing is the entrepreneurship and skill development program. So there are certain programs conducted by the government where you as an entrepreneur, in fact, even in the previous schemes, PMEGP and CGTMSA schemes, they classify the borrowers into two borrowers. One, an untrained borrower. Another is a trained borrower. Who is a trained borrower? Trained borrower is somebody who has business knowledge. He has been trained in the various aspects of the business. And how do you get trained? Is through entrepreneurship and skill development program. So entrepreneurship development program, you have several schemes. One is a 6 week program, another is 1 week, another is another next level 1 week. So the basic training you must attend 6 week training program, and then you are an existing businessman. If you feel that management skills could be better, you can be better in management, then you can attend the management development program, MDP program. Let's say you have also attended that MDP program, then there is an advanced MDP training, which is conducted through ATIs, Administrative Training Institute. So you have several levels to cross, and all of this is offered by the government for entrepreneurs. You can take benefit of this and enhance your knowledge. Another thing is procurement and marketing support scheme. If you are an MSME, you might have noticed that there are several trade exhibition fairs that are happening. But in all these trade fair exhibition, in order to have your own counter exhibition stall, you need to pay for something. So that kind of payment is sponsored by the government. This is called procurement and marketing support scheme. And they also have other things, like they themselves will organize domestic fair, international fair, which is also allowed. And then vendor development package. And in addition to that, there are certain uh, technology enhancement skill development, which is also provided by the government by way of national workshop seminars, etc. And this is something which is quite surprising. Um, International cooperation scheme. The government calls this as international cooperation scheme. So if you are a business and you want to develop your market. See, in India, if you have a business, it is going to run within India. And if you have a business outside India as well, it's called global business. So when you are a local business, you have certain set of revenue profits that you can make. But when you are a global business, you can make even more profits. And the government has also understood that many businesses are local because they do not have the capacity to go abroad. They do not have the capacity to go and establish themselves in a country outside of India. So for that, if you are a first-time MSc exporter and all, they have a scheme where they are allowing you to have your own exhibition stall sponsored by the government. So the amount, as I have mentioned here in this slide, is up to 3 lakhs per SME. So per MSME, and you also are allowed airfare. So the travel tickets, everything you are allowed, and you also can be uh, taking your own goods or your wares or you can purchase something from there and come back, you will be able to get USD 150 per day for one office bearer. And freight charges also they are giving 50,000. Of course, it is for non-American Asian related countries. If you go abroad, Latin American countries, you will be able to get 75,000 as freight expenditure. Like that, you have advertisement and publicity charges is up to 5 lakhs, and there will be this registration fee for the event. Let's say you want to be a delegate, which is also up to 5,000 rupees. They are allowing. Beyond that, whatever it is, you have to contribute. So this is the minimum limit that the government will pay. And there is also a government scheme where they will sponsor a speaker for 5 lakhs. So if you are a speaker and you are going to give a talk there and you are going to establish your business by the talk, then they are giving 5 lakhs for that. So government has several schemes. For me also, it's a new thing that I'm learning that these schemes do exist. So whenever you get some time, you basically uh, go through the websites. I'm giving a list of websites, by the way, for you to go through, and you can go through the schemes. There is a scheme booklet available. I strongly suggest that you go ahead and get that scheme booklet from the nearest MSME department, which is always available at a nominal cost. Sometimes they give it for free as well. So go ahead and get that scheme booklet, or you can download the scheme booklet from the websites which I give. There are several schemes, and if you go through those schemes, whether or not the portal My Scheme says, you will be able to go ahead and claim the benefits of the scheme. So, like that, there are several other schemes which we will continue to discuss. If you are a technology start, if you are a technology business, once again, you are a service sector. But what is it the government is going to do specifically for a technology sector entity? So you might be aware of EHTP and STPA, Electronics Hardware Technology Park, or STPA, Technology Park India, STPA, something like that. So if you are part of this scheme, the best thing is that you will be saving several amounts of duty. And one requirement is that it must be a company or a LLP. So you cannot be a partnership firm, individual, proprietary entity. You cannot claim that. And since you claim yourself as an exporter, at least 50 percentage should be IT services, hardware export should be 50 percentage of your total turnover. And all goods import, capital goods and raw materials and all, you have simplified procedure and also certain duty-free import which is available. And the capital invested by foreign equity holders is eligible for repatriation subject to tax deduction. So after payment of deduction, they can repatriate it without any restriction. And there is also this Genesis scheme where you have uh, universities and startup accelerators, incubators, and investors platform like angel investors. All these people who are in the R&D sector mostly, they can basically create a forum through which they can seek investment from the government. Equity linked seed investment will be dispersed by the government. And of course, one of the requirement is that you should have a DEI of your organization, right? DEI is like your diversity, equality, everything. So inclusivity, accessibility, like that. There are certain factors. If you go through the scheme, you will be able to understand. And lastly, this is the list of several important government portals which I have basically identified for you to go back and do your own research. The first important website which I already given is my.msme.gov.in, which is the portal that you will be able to get your own benefits, your own schemes by inputting your Aadhaar. And NIMSME is one website where you be able to get the MSME schemes. And most importantly, the Champions website, which is also a government portal. All of these are government portals, by the way. There are other portals like EMSME, MSMEX, and all. Those portals I don't even suggest because they are corporates mostly, and they charge some amount for you to get to know the schemes that you are eligible for. But my MSME is free; you can utilize that. And startupindia.gov.in also is another good website. So with the help of these portals, you can get the benefit of the various government schemes. And so far, whatever I've discussed is the list of service sector schemes. I have not discussed about sector specific. There are schemes by Ministry of Education where you can get some reimbursement for new faculty, and then organizing conference, research related subsidy. And the Ministry of Tourism is also having its own subsidy. Ministry of Textile is also having its own subsidiary. Ministry of Health is having its own subsidiary. So like that, there are several schemes for several ministries. So not every ministry scheme is applicable for everybody. So whatever I have discussed is which is something applicable for everybody, and mostly service sector, startups, and your corporate tech companies. Other than this, if you belong to a specific sector and you still want to know, go ahead and look at these government portals, and you will be able to get several subsidies. So before we conclude, I wanted to see if there are any questions, and you can reach me at this number. You can mail me, or you can just scan this, and whatever form you want to connect with me, LinkedIn, WhatsApp, you can connect. But if you have any questions, I will be able to answer from the whatever slides we discussed today. So are there any questions, CA Numit Verma, or
Sir, there are two questions on my table right now. Can PMEGP be used by restaurants or the central kitchen?
so PMEGP is a subsidy which the government is giving. The government gives based on your eligibility criteria, which happens to be, are you an existing business? So in case of existing business, you fall under upgradation scheme. So upgradation means you will be. I showed you several slides. One of the slides was upgradation. You can go back and see. You will be eligible for, I think, 15-25% of the cost of the project. You need to prepare a project report, and if you provide the project report, out of that you will be eligible. And the amount of eligibility depends upon the cost of the project. So cost of the project also, they have kept a ceiling. This is the maximum cost in case of manufacturing sector. This is the maximum cost in case of service sector. This is the maximum cost. So if you go through that particular scheme, particulars, your restaurant industry is eligible. Restaurants are eligible. Cloud kitchens are eligible. You need to apply by preparing a project report showing a specific project cost. The government will be able to help.
Thank you, sir. And can we benefit from CGT SME covering two schemes simultaneously?
Yeah, the limit is per person per pan, I believe. So you have to have the overall limit. So this is the total limit. I think 2 crores.
Okay.
So 2 crores some amount is there. This is the maximum amount that the government will
That
say.
means we can have it in simultaneously
That
two
is why
schemes.
I said you can apply both for PMEGP and also PMMY. There is no,
Okay,
if
it's
you are
great.
in this scheme, you cannot apply. So
Mhm.
you can apply and basically get benefited. CGTMSE is an overall cover. So CGTMSE is like, see, there are several people in this country where they do not have any security to offer to the bank. Imagine somebody going to the bank and asking for a loan, and government will ask immediately what is the security you can offer, because government, banks and public sector, not public sector, even private sectors are also having this kind of question. What is the security you can offer? Because for them there is a requirement to collect the security and then issue the loan, which means that people who have security will only be able to get the loan. Those who do not have security will not get the loan. And this means another issue: the person who cannot afford the loan only will go for loan. What is the point in issuing a loan to a person who can already afford? Who cannot afford, they should get the loan, right? That is why government has understood that this set of people who are interested in developing themselves, they can attend these EDP programs, entrepreneur development program, skill development program, and become better individuals, train the borrower, and then apply for these schemes, so that the government will say that you are secure. Don't worry, this guy is secure. If he fails to repay, I will pay. So like that, the government is giving uh, guarantee, which is something rare.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Yes, over to Rana ji. Rana Ravi ji.
I think he is facing some tech issue, maybe.
Maybe.
Am I audible now?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Sir, we'll ask the question after the session. Till now, we have only two questions. We'll ask the questions after the session.
Oh,
So you can continue with your PPT, sir.
done with the session, Anaravi. The sections which we have discussed are general. Otherwise, it becomes specific. So specific sectors are something which they themselves can go and see through the website.
Okay,
So what we
okay,
have
okay,
discussed today is general schemes.
okay, sir. So you can continue with your PPT, sir.
So I think he hasn't understood the
I
Mithra.
say, Rana Ravi ji, he's done with the PPTs.
Yeah,
The
Uh,
session is closed.
Sir, the session is for till 4 o'clock.
yeah. So I know
Okay,
that, but the content is only
okay,
so much,
okay,
and this is
okay,
the
okay,
topic that we can cover.
okay, sir. Let me check the questions. I'll send to ma'am, and she will ask you.
We can have the question answers now if
If there
any
are questions, we can
questions
go ahead.
are there.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
Okay, there's one question that has come up. What is the objective of PMEGP for MSMEs in the service sector?
It's not specific to service sector, by the way. PMEGP is quite general. It's mostly employment generation. That is the idea. The first question whenever governments change, the public ask is, what is the change that they have brought? I'm not able to get my own son employed like that. So the government has thought through this, And in order to generate employment, government cannot also create some new employment roles, some new jobs. It can also fill only what is already vacant. So, which means that they have to depend on external agencies, which are mostly entrepreneurs and corporates. And corporates, they do large scale employment, but MSMEs are those organizations which create the employment guarantee by way of generating several new employments which was hitherto not there. Your roadside kirana shop is employing somebody. Your restaurant which somebody asked is also employing somebody. So in order for them to help uh, people get employment, they have to be also funded. So that is how government funds these organizations. That is why the subsidy is at 15%, not beyond that. They are not subsidizing 100% of the cost of the project. They are subsidizing only 15%, 25%, and rural areas it is 30, going up to 35%. Like that, they have limits only because they are subsidizing only the employee portion, employee cost, employment generation program, PMEGP. That is the goal of PMEGP scheme.
Thank you, sir. Next one is, how does the Atmanirbhar Bharat Rozgar Yojana scheme supports MSMEs?
Uh, Atmanirbhar Bharat Rozgar Yojana is something it's called Make in India scheme, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
under that scheme, there are several schemes. You cannot say that this is one scheme that is going to help. Beneath that, it's a umbrella of scheme. Beneath it, there are several schemes, and I would say that the government came up with Atmanirbhar scheme, and they basically combined several schemes and said this is the scheme. Uh, Earlier, also there were certain schemes, and PMEGP itself is a scheme which was already there. Some other scheme which got combined together into one specific scheme. Like that, Atmanirbhar scheme is also a combination of schemes that will help the MSME, and most likely you will be able to get benefit under your specific scheme. You have to use the My Scheme website, which I've already given.
Okay, thank you, sir. What is the advantage of the Technology Upgradation Fund scheme?
Yeah, technology upgradation scheme. You basically have to apply for this specific scheme where you will be given subsidy to uh, improve your technology infrastructure. So there are organizations which they want to grow only, but they can't purchase that laptop. They are not able to invest in that server and all. So the government is able to give that particular scheme subsidy based on which you can invest in the capital machinery, which is mostly tech device.
What financial support does the credit link capital subsidy and technology?
Uh, the financial support, uh, we can basically say that these schemes have one common denominator. uh, Basically you have to apply under that scheme so that you can get the benefit. It's not specifically that they will give you financial support. You have to apply so that you can get the scheme benefit. Financial support is only on application.
Should I ask the next question, sir?
Is there any other question?
Yes, there are three questions left
Oh, okay.
from
Yeah.
the participants. How does the government e-marketplace, that is GEM portal, help MSMEs?
Okay. So GEM portal is another portal where you have uh, access to MSME businesses by the government directly. See, whenever government has to procure something, they have this government e-marketplace portal, GEM. So
Yes.
this GEM portal, they will be first giving the order to that GEM portal. If that GEM portal order is not fulfilled by MSMEs, that is when they approach somebody else. So GEM portal, if you go ahead and register yourself, GEM portal, there is a process also. You need to get registered as a MSME under GEM portal. and you need to have some class 3 DSC just for applying tenders and all. And you need to be regularly revisiting this portal, seeing what is the tender that is being announced this time. You have to apply, and if your quote is L1, which is the least category, the government will obviously give you that particular assignment, or that particular product will be procured from you, and you will be able to get the benefit of expanding your business by having business relationship with one of the government departments. It could be a ministry, it could be a particular specific department, but the process has been now standardized, centralized.
So there is a one question which is coming up from so many participants, like from where do we need to apply for that PMEGP loan? Is it the bank or DIC, or how it has to be done?
Yeah, so
A
this
lot of
PM,
questions roam around
lot of
this.
questions are on that PMGP. How do I apply and get this
Yes, how to
PMGP?
approach for this loan?
So you have to go through KVIC portal. That is the nodal agency, which is meant for this PMEGP portal. So KVIC portal, you have to go. This is contrary to your belief. This is not a loan. This is a subsidy. So PMMY is a loan. PM Mudra Yojana is loan. You have to go and approach your nearest bank. It's not an issue. Any bank,
For Mudra
wherever you have your
Yojana,
bank.
they need to go for the bank, and for subsidy, they are supposed to go to the KVIC website.
Yeah, KVIC portal.
Right. Should I put the next question, sir?
Yeah, if there
Okay.
is a question, let's.
CA Shipra Runta has asked, what measures are being taken to simplify access to government schemes for MSMEs, especially the rural areas?
Yeah, so I haven't focused on rural areas today, specifically because uh, the sector specific also I haven't discussed. Rural, I didn't discuss because rural is a vast area. So you can't cover rural in under one session. And I also understand many CAs are practicing in urban areas. And urban area subsidies is what is more relevant, is what I was thinking. Under rural also, uh, you have this KVIC. It's so I don't remember the exact full form. KVIC. So you go ahead and basically
Khadi
approach
Village
Khadi
Industries.
Village Industries, right? KVIC, right? Khadi Village Industries Corporation, something like that. So you basically go to KVIC and ask for your subsidies, related forms and all. And there are also portals, and specifically in MSME scheme booklet, which I referred to in the beginning, uh, a specific set of incentive schemes is listed exclusively for rural sector. So that is there, and most likely, if you are a rural entrepreneur, you have to only get educated. In fact, this session itself is an outreach session. ICA is trying to educate CAs and others. So you only have to get educated, and mostly you can approach district industry center, KVAC, if you are a rural entrepreneur, so that you can get access to several subsidies, incentives, and subsidized loans, etc.
Okay.
So
Can
yes,
MSMEs also operate agricultural or livestock-based activities to avail benefits under the scheme?
yeah, yeah. There are specific schemes meant for this agriculture, livestock, and all. There are specific schemes. You can basically go ahead and apply for this. It is specifically allowed. There is a scheme for this.
Is there any summarized content to be shared for MSME schemes and practical cases?
Yeah. So one of the websites I've shared, right? myscheme.gov.in. Go ahead, input your Aadhaar. You will get eligible schemes only listed. You don't need access to all schemes, which is a big booklet. You don't have to go through that entire booklet. So best way is to go to myscheme.gov.in, educate yourself on what is the eligible subsidy, go ahead and apply. And each particular scheme, the best part is they are saying who is eligible, what are the benefits, what is the criteria, and then how to apply, what are the steps, step one, step two, step three. And here is the link. Click this link, apply. So like that, now it is online, and also after applying online, you have to go and meet that specific department personnel, follow up, everything has to be done. They are saying, they are claiming that it is online, everything you can do it online, you can track status and all. But in India, normally there are lots of files kept before an officer. So we have to go and approach if we want our case to be prioritized.
Can you share insights on the success rate of flagship schemes like PMGP and CGTMSE? What challenges do beneficiaries face?
Yeah, that is a very good question. In fact, this is what is bridging the practicality and the theory. And I have seen that even though schemes are available, there is a lack of general lack of knowledge about these schemes. Because of this, those who apply for these schemes is quite less. And normally, whenever these schemes are applied, uh, the banker will always go ahead and ask for additional security in addition to CGTMSC. CGTMSC, I would even say that is not normally considered by bankers as security. So they will ask for additional security. There are ways and means by which you can basically still get by consistent follow up everything. But I have to agree to the questioner. Uh, it's a big question. It's a question that these schemes are there on book, but the benefits of these schemes are,
Practically, things are different
it is a challenge.
somehow.
I wouldn't say nobody is getting. There are people who still get that. What means ways they are adopting, and how they are regularly following up and all. You have to learn from them.
But I think many of them are getting it,
Yeah, those who
or
apply
as I understood from.
frequently following up.
Is there any summarized content to be shared for MSME schemes and practical cases?
Yeah, like I said, the websites, right? Champion .go.in,
You
and
told
then
in your
uh,
presentation.
yeah, I have listed. You can see, or I will do one thing. Let me share. If you could allow me access, I will share once again. These are the schemes, and this is the portal. You can basically uh, go through these websites: Champions portal, My MSME portal, Startup India portal.
Participants can have the screenshot.
Yeah, you can take a screenshot as well. nimsme.go.in stroke MSME schemes. And whenever you open these websites, they also have an MSME booklet. So that booklet is of much use. You can download that as well. These portals, they have several things, but the point is you cannot read all these schemes. Best part is to go ahead and input your Udyam Aadhaar in My MSME portal, where the department eligible schemes and the departments to which you should go and apply, whom to contact, which website to click, everything is applicable, available in that first portal itself.
Okay, sir. Benefits for CA practitioners in MSME.
Yeah, benefits for CA practitioners. This is one reason which I
You are a profit maximizer.
yeah, yeah. This is one
Yes,
part
sir. Please.
why I specifically wanted to discuss on this topic, because at the end of the day, you are also an MSME, you are also a service provider. So that is why I chose MSME service providers, where you can get benefit. Firstly, you get the benefit, and then go ahead and apply for your further clients, etc. So you can basically get MSME benefit. One will be your trademark, patent, copyright 50% off, which I haven't discussed here. And another thing is you can get concessional electricity charges in Tamil Nadu, that is available. Other states I'm not very sure. And in addition to that, you also can register the portal called uh, TRITS portal. Tips portal is a portal where you are working with a corporate, and that
Kindly
corporate
spell this.
TREDS. I will send uh, in the chat as well. TREDS. There are several portals, like 3 or 4 trade receivable discounting scheme. It's called trade receivable discounting scheme. So there are several portals which are offering this trade receivable discounting scheme, TREDS. If you are a chartered accountant and you are working with a corporate, chances are that they are more than 500 crore organization. I think now it is only 250 crores. So if they are more than 250 crores and they are going to delay your payment, you need not wait for the corporate to process your payment. You simply go ahead and apply in trade scheme and ask for the money from the bank. The bank is having access to the corporate's bank account. So they will deduct 1% commission, 99% money you will receive on the due date of payment. On the due date of payment, let's say it is 7 days or 30 days from the date of raising the invoice, the bank will collect or reduce the money from the large MNC's bank account, which means your payment will always happen on time. You need not wait for the MNC to dispose your payment. Of course, there is a cost for this 1% commission. Some other, every portal has their own commission levels. So you need to see which is going to work for you.
There's one a participant who is a woman. She's working on millets products.
Mm.
She like to have a support for international marketing. Is there any support available
There
for her?
there is a support scheme. Like I discussed, I can also share that screen. It's called International um, Cooperation Scheme. 1 minute, I'll share that. So this is the scheme which I discussed as well. So if you want to expand and you need to have your stalls put across in a particular exhibition, if you want advertisement, publicity, everything is covered under this international cooperation scheme. How to avail everything? You just basically have to go ahead and apply under my scheme portal. At the end of the scheme, there will be a website mentioned. They will also mention the steps to apply for this scheme, so that you can apply and get it. You can probably screenshot it as well.
Can co-workers become incubators to take advantage of schemes?
So co-workers, can they become uh,
Incubators.
incubators? Okay, incubator is a term where you, whenever you are a
I think they'll
startup.
be incubatees, not
Ah,
incubators, right?
yeah. So whenever you are a startup and you are part of this incubation, there is something called Atal Incubation Center. So you can go ahead and incubate your business. So you can go ahead and be part of that incubation, where you will not be insisted on paying rent. You will be given a computer and a desk, everything. The only part is to come up with a workable startup idea, which can have tremendous earning potential. So incubation, you can have. Okay, the question now I get it. Can they have incubation in a co-working space? Is that the question?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so that is the question, but I'm not sure about that. You have to approach the concerned department only. So it's a good question. Like, it's a nice idea of using the existing co-working space as an incubation center so that people can benefit. But uh, it's something that needs to be tried.
Okay. What is the age limit for women entrepreneurs under PMEGP or Mudra or startup schemes?
18 years above. Upper limit is not there.
Okay, there's
18
no
above,
age limit, but
above 18.
lower one is defined. Okay. Apart from banks, are there any other institutions like TIIC, TIDCO to provide finance?
Yeah. So there are several institutions. SIDBI is one such. Small Industries Development Bank of India. Tamil Nadu Industrial Investment Corporation, the state from where I come. And there are also other investment corporation banks which are funding. But you need to understand these are nodal agencies. They do not fund directly, they fund through another bank. You can go and approach them, and they will still ask you to come through a bank. So the bank's security requirement will be funded by SEBI. You will be asked for some margin money and all, right? So all that can be funded by these organizations. You can approach them directly so that if they are able, in fact, I recently met with one City bank manager also. He said that you can bring MSMEs who want assistance. So it means that obviously they must be offering some loans as well. So you can try SIDBI and these investment corporations. But they are mostly nodal agencies.
How are you measuring the impact of these schemes on job creation and GDP contribution by MSMEs?
It's a subjective question. How can we measure job generation with the help of schemes and all? Uh, Wherever there is a subsidy received, it is indirect way of generating jobs. If subsidy is not received, then job generation has not yet happened. Subsidy or subsidized interest subvention scheme. In Tamil Nadu, we have interest subvention scheme at all. So all those schemes are there so that we can generate more employment by helping the entrepreneur who is generating those employment.
For establishing a multi-specialty hospital in the form of a company or any other registration, what benefit can be received by such hospital?
Yeah, this is a specific, very specific question. Uh, there was this tax benefit which I recall for having 100 beds and all, at least 100 beds. But this is quite specific. Maybe you might have to go ahead and check with the Ministry of Health. That is the department which will be able to help you with this.
Can a partnership firm with farming as business get registered under MSME? And is there any schemes for such firm?
Yeah, there are several schemes. Agriculture sector, we have several schemes. You can go. Okay, partnership. I don't think there is a restriction. From whatever I have read,
There is no restrictions around
yeah,
partnership.
there is no restriction.
There is no restriction.
There is no restriction.
Can you suggest any scheme for solar PV panel recycling business?
Yeah. So, like I said, there are several industries, several schemes, and what is your scheme is something that you must only apply and check. My suggestion is that in order for you to get the benefit of a scheme, the best way would be to go ahead and reach out the DIC, District Industry Center, MSME department, where you will be directed to a concerned officer, and there is also a National Small Industry Center, something like that, where you can get subsidies and interest subventions applicable.
Is there any deadline for approval of scheme or loan?
Yeah, deadlines. It's all okay. I wouldn't say on paper. It's all there. It's all there. They are saying within 2 weeks, within 6 weeks, uh, depending upon the loan size. If loan is only less than 50 lakhs, it should happen within 1 week. So many restrictions, so many suggestions have been given. I wouldn't say restriction. Suggestions have been given to follow some timeline, but the amount of workload they have, they are not able to follow is what we have to agree. We can't do anything about it.
While applying for PMEGP or PMMY loans, do they ask for income tax returns? Or what are the documents they require for these benefit schemes?
Yeah, normally they ask for income tax returns, and if you have income tax returns and if you have profitable business running, cash profit specifically, you will be given higher priority over others. And most banks also have a specific target. This target sector I have to give, and also amount target. For this branch, so much amounts under PMMY scheme must be distributed. So which means that if you go and ask, they have to give because they are forced to give. The government is asking details from the bank. How many PMEGP scheme you have dispersed? How many PMMY scheme under issue? Like the category wise, they are asking also. Which means if you go and ask for a loan, you should be able to get. And there are also requirements like um, Stand Up India scheme. Every branch must issue one at least one loan under Stand Up India scheme. So you can understand so many bank branches are there. Obviously, one bank branch might be waiting for you. So go ahead and apply.
What can be done if banks do not give mortgage-free PMEGP loan? Generally, banks ask for it.
Yeah. So you can't say that you must follow CGT MSc and all. And CGT MSc also has a different name in the market. And bankers normally do not consider CGT MSc as such as a security, and because of which they ask for additional security. And mostly NBFCs and these newer banks are all okay with CGT MSc. But CGT MSc department also they have this process where they make it complicated for the banks to claim. So if you have a credit guarantee loan and the credit happens to be a default, it becomes an NPA or something, and it becomes a substandard asset maybe. Then the government has several questions, several restrictions, because of which the bankers are also quite hesitant to consider the CGT MSc as a security. Otherwise, if the scheme is so good, everybody would be getting CGT MSc loans. Only because there are some teething problems, CGT MSc is not so accepted everywhere. It is not quite prominent right now. Eventually, I believe this should happen. Uh, in fact, the government is also planning. In fact, the budget announcement was there. In budget announcement, they have said that there will be a separate, uh, you know, SIDBI and other nodal agencies driven credit guarantee corporations, which is being formulated by the government. In the budget, it was announced. The formulation is happening. So sooner or later, we will have something which is actually working.
Any tips and tricks for the new chartered accountants, like the new entrants who can, help these MSMEs to get these subsidies and loans? They can
Yeah,
support them, and it's
yeah,
like win-win for both of them.
yeah. The first tip which I can give is go to myscheme.go.in, enter the Udyam Aadhar. Whoever is not having Udyam Aadhar for your clients, ask them to get Udyam Aadhar and tell them that I will get you some subsidy Aadhar. So the moment their Udyam Aadhar is done, which is a 5 minutes, 10 minutes process on the portal, anyways, you come to the My Scheme portal, have a list of schemes that are eligible, and then go ahead and look at the most important scheme that they can take the maximum benefit out of. So start with that scheme and start applying, and slowly you can go and coordinate with the officers, concerned departments, and eventually I think it will be a win-win situation like what CA Numit Verma said. You will
What if
also get
you give a brief on one of the schemes, sir? A little brief on one of any of the schemes.
one of the schemes. Okay,
Any one scheme on that portal.
yeah. So several schemes are there. STPA is one scheme, Software Technology Parks of India. You have to register, and there are certain forms online you have to submit. And mostly, once you submit that form, you can import laptops without duty, and that is a big benefit for a tech company. So whoever is a tech company in your client list, go ahead and check whether they have registered for STPA. They wouldn't have. And particularly if they are exporting only, probably they are not aware of this. So go ahead and get it. And you are anyways getting their GST refund done. This is yet another way of helping them.
Thank you, sir. Loan for service sector or business with low fixed assets or less turnover are rejected by a bank. How to handle or how to convince the banks for those kind of loans?
So this is an issue because normally
It's a
manufacturers,
very practical issue, sir.
normally
Once I
manufacturers,
also faced the same.
normally
One of my clients.
you would have also not got it, right? So normally manufacturing sector, they are able to get several loans just by offering some security. But
Yeah.
for service sector, that is where you have to take advantage of the CGTMSC, which like I have already discussed, it may or may not be accepted depending upon the bank, depending upon the NBFC. So you can always try with some other bank. That is the easiest approach which you can start with. But how many banks only you will go and try, right? So if one bank rejects, you go to another bank. And one portal which I have seen, it's a private portal. There is a loan aggregator portal like Bank Bazaar, Paisa Bazaar. Some websites are there. You go ahead and give the details and they will contact you back. In fact, you will be so fed up with the amount of calls you get. Definitely you will get some loan. That is something which I can guarantee you. But um, there are also P2P lending platforms, peer-to-peer lending platforms, where fair send. There are several places where you can get loans without even security. So where there is a will, there is a way. So you will definitely get if you approach any of this.
Does training under ESDP help in eligibility for all the schemes? This is one of the questions that has come for the participants.
No, it's always scheme specific. So every scheme you will have to go through fresh scrutiny, fresh department, fresh officer, new kind of questions. In fact, same questions sometimes you have to reply with patience. That's it.
How is the government leveraging FTAs, free trade agreements, to benefit MSMEs engaged in exports? CA Shipra Runta has asked us.
Um, Free trade agreements. You already saw the international cooperation scheme, right? International cooperation scheme is one scheme where if you want to go and expand your business, develop your business, that is the word used in the scheme, you are given some monetary benefit. In fact, recently also there was this one textile departments sending one public notice asking for, if you are going and investing in this particular conference or fair, we are ready to sponsor you. Please make application with the following items: list 1, list 2, list 3, list 4, like that. There was a set of specific instructions given, and my suggestion is to get associated with your ministry. For example, let's say you are a textile vendor, get associated with Ministry of Textiles, keep following their post, and you will be able to get those kind of information available to you. And if you are in technology, maybe you have to follow MATI, which also comes up with these schemes. And if you are in health, Ministry of Health, Education, like that, we can keep on saying these are the ministries. So you have to be in connect with your ministry at least.
Can you tell names peer-to-peer lending platforms where with low assets you can apply?
Yeah, there are several portals. They are all private, and some have good reputation, some have poor reputation and all. In fact, I even mentioned one, so you can go back and see what it is. But I don't want to clearly say this is one website. So you have to do your own due diligence. Peer-to-peer lending platforms have their
It
own
has
issues,
to be.
and also they are not fully governed by RBI. Some have the RBI license. Some say they have got the RBI license. So it's slightly this way or that way. It may or may not be legal. So like that.
What all services are included in MSME? What interest rates charged on bank loans to MSME? And is there any moratorium available?
A moratorium was available in the past. Moratorium was available for organizations which were affected by pandemic, and there is also one scheme which is available for stressed units. MSME stressed unit scheme is there. You can go ahead and apply. 2% some subvention is there. Interest subvention is there. You can go ahead and see. You can check for stressed MSME schemes like that. So you will be able to get access.
How does the Atmanirbhar Bharat Rozgar Yojana ABRY scheme impact small businesses in sectors like tourism, hospitality, and retail?
I think this question is repeating. We've already said it's a gamut of schemes, so it's covering several sectors as well.
Let me see what questions are left. A lot of questions has come up. How can they handle the banks if they are not doing it very easily, or they are asking for one or the other paper? Any practical insights on
No other go. You have to change the bank or keep providing the document. That is the only way, because it's after all their money they are giving, so they have all the right to ask question. And
like
whenever
for example, if we discuss about mortgage free PMAGP loan, but they ask for the mortgage.
correct,
So what is the remedy available for the borrower? Like if he does not want to give the mortgage, is there any thing like he can complain or something like that, so that there has to be the upper hand on bank also. So what is that upper hand?
correct. So you cannot basically insist that the bank gives you a loan. It is always the prerogative of the bank, and specifically the bank manager, to say no to you. So legally, you cannot ask them. You cannot mandate them to give loan for you. That is one thing. And since you are listening to this, and probably you are also an MSME, there is one more thing which I wanted to tell you. There is something called MSME Facilitation Council, MSMEFC. So if you have uh, paid somebody, or if you are expecting some money and you have not received it, the money is not received by you, then there is something called MSMED Act 2006. And between section 15 to 22, I urge you to read. So section 15 to 22 gives you the power to go and demand money from whoever is not paying you that money, because MSMEs are eligible for 3 times RBI rate of interest if the amount is not paid within the date of acceptance, say like 15 days is the date which is given in the MSME Act. But one point which you must remember is, if you are a trader, wholesaler, retailer, you cannot go ahead and claim this benefit. Manufacturing organizations, service organizations can claim this benefit. But otherwise, if bank is not giving you a loan, no other go. You have to apply afresh to some other bank which is willing to give you. So it's the bank's prerogative.
In your opinion, do you feel it is a good area for chartered accountants to practice this area, the supporting MSMEs and all?
Yeah, I feel this is an area of practice for chartered accountants. This is a specialization. Uh, there are very few chartered accountants who are involved in specialization of incentives to MSMEs.
Is there
And
any future for them in this area? I mean, is this good revenue generating, or
it's quite good revenue generating. And the problem with this sector is that you have to get the job done. Unless and until you get the job done, you will not be paid. But the moment you get the job out of satisfaction, the client will pay you. That is much better than getting your fee for doing tax which they are not not interested in. They want to somehow get it.
I
Government.
think there is some network issue. We are not getting you. The voice is like cracking. It's not clear. There was some disturbance.
Am I audible now?
Yes, you are audible, but earlier we could not understand because the voice was not clear actually.
So how about now?
Yeah, good
It's
to
good,
go.
sir.
Good, good. So the question was this, no? So how do I practice under MSME incentive sector? Like I said, other sector where you are traditionally practicing as a chartered accountant, if you are having tax practice, you know that tax is something that people pay because of the duty. It is being asked to be done, and that is why whenever you have to follow up for any documents, there is always a delay. But you try following up for incentive subsidy, how fast the data comes, you see. So you will
Understood.
probably understand why, because they want this to be done.
The
But
delivery is not that fast from our side, na?
yeah, we cannot cope up with the we cannot cope up with the speed of the client. That I will tell you. But when it comes to tax, the client cannot cope up with our speed because we keep asking and they will come back. I will send you last minute, till last minute they will wait. But here it is not the case. They will come up with immediate response because they know the moment this is done, they will get the incentive subsidy which they wouldn't have got. Otherwise, it is not a possibility. So you are creating the possibility. So they will be even more interested to work with you. Okay,
Sir,
okay.
your voice is cracking.
See. How about now? Is it clear?
It's good now. Yeah, it's good, sir.
Yeah. So yeah, so like I said, there will be much faster cooperation from the clients to get their own incentive instead of paying for a government. So here it is receiving side. So you will also feel that the client cooperation, everything is good. And your fees will also be received in earlier time, record time. No need to follow up everything because they know the moment you do this, next incentive you will go and apply. And they will also be ready to pay you so that you will go and work happily for the next work. So it's a recurring work, by the way. Once you do it, you become specialist, you can keep on doing it.
Is there any gender inequality like in this for chartered accountants? Is it good for women chartered accountants for practice in this field also?
Yeah, the only
What is your
aspect is
personal opinion on this?
yeah, the only aspect is you need to travel, you need to communicate with officers, and if you have family commitments and you still have to do this, it's possible. In fact, it's possible mostly for women's CA because you know the general timings of government departments, right? So it basically it's in a parallel line with after you get free yourself, you can go ahead and approach this officer because the officer is also busy before that time. So when you are free, the officer is also free. Sorry. Now, how about it? How about now? Good,
Good,
good.
sir.
Okay.
Starts well, but after some time it starts cracking.
Okay, okay, maybe.
Initially, it's all right.
Whenever that happens, please let me know. I think I changed the setting. It's
I think
working.
you rejoined the class, Girish is saying.
Yeah, now it's working. Let's see if it is an issue in the future. Okay, so I will rejoin. Okay.
Maybe it solves the purpose.
And the class will be block. अब सही आ रहा है?
Let him join.
Yeah. Now I think it should be good. Yeah.
Okay. If government has not paid to MSME manufacturer in the prescribed period of 45 days or as per MSME Act, then can we claim 3 times of interest rate from government? And
Yeah.
what is the procedure to claim this interest from government?
Yeah. So there is something called MSME Facilitation Council, MSME FC. It is having in every state prominent places. In Chennai also we have one MSME Facilitation Council. You have to make an online application. The application involves you providing the person's name, detail, everything. You have to provide the invoice copy, proof of acknowledgement from the other side that the goods have been received. So if you have all these proofs and if you go ahead and apply, the MSME Facilitation Council will same issue. I'm sorry. Give me a minute. So I will continue with this specific mic, and I've asked for another mic. So let's continue with this as far as possible. So MSME Facilitation Council is it's like one separate code where you can go ahead and ask for justice as an MSME that you not got the money as per MSME Act 2006. You should have got the money. and you can always ask for 3 times RBI interest, which is allowed under MSME Act, and the other person has to respond. There is a process by which your particular application will be adjudicated by the MSME Facilitation Council, and you will be paid the money. You can basically try this approach instead of going for courts. Normally, if you go for court case, and you know the timeline and all, it will be a huge time, 3 years plus 6 years sometimes. So a money suit, it depends upon which kind of suit you are waging, money suit, or it could be negotiable instruments act. So the best way for you to earn your money back in the shortest time possible and in the easiest way possible would be to go ahead and apply with MSME Facilitation Council, and you will be able to get it. And there is also another way. If your money happens to be huge amounts and you are not able to get it, you can go ahead and apply under something called Insolvency Bankruptcy Code, IBC. So if you go ahead and do it under IBC, you will be able to get the benefit as well, which is mostly for slightly higher amounts. There are certain restrictions under IBC. You can apply as a financial creditor, and you should be able to get, and sometimes as an operational creditor as well. Yeah.
Government schemes for cow farming, goat farming, fish farming.
Like I said, today I'm not discussing anything in relation to
Agricultural.
agriculture, farm, KVIC related schemes. The schemes are there. You might have to check. Livestock benefits are there. Farming is specifically there. So you can go ahead and approach your district industry center or KVIC.
Rana Raviji, is there any other question left from the participants?
No, ma'am, there is no any question left from the participant side.
Okay. So should we start with the vote of thanks?
Sure, ma'am, sure.
Okay. As we come to the conclusion of this enlightening session, it is my privilege to deliver the vote of thanks on behalf of the Committee on MSMEs and Startup. As it was rightly said, feeling gratitude and not expressing it is like wrapping a present and not giving it. So, to begin, I would like to thank our speaker, CA Lokesh Rajendra Babu, who spared time from his busiest schedule for sharing his valuable insights and expertise with us today. We are truly honored, sir, to have you here. We are also grateful to our participants for your active engagement and enthusiasm. Your thoughtful questions and participation has enriched the discussion and made the session more interactive and valuable. To our technical team, thank you so much. Everything went so well, so seamlessly. We are really thankful to you for making this workshop an impactful experience. In conclusion, thank you all once again for your invaluable contributions and participation. Have a great evening. Thank you, sir. Thank you, all.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for wonderful session. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for coordinating the sessions. Thank you, tech support team.